Hello, people. It's the best podcast in Turkey and maybe in the world. My English is not enough to make the best podcast in the world, but I hope so. It'll be one day. I'll be the best podcast ever that has that have ever been in the world, and the people will listen to it and they will appreciate my work, and I'll be the king of the world. No, I'm just kidding. I spontaneously decided to record this episode. It's 7:46 in the morning. I was going to record this episode in Turkish, but I thought, fuck it. Why don't I record this episode in English, in another language? I don't normally talk English in my daily dialogues, but I like the language, and it gives me the power of accessing almost all the things in the world. When I go into the internet, I type something in English and I find it immediately. When I do it in Turkish, it's so hard to find something. So I decided when I was a kid, I'm gonna learn English because I was watching YouTube videos and I was really fucking enjoying them. They were really fun. But the English ones, the more quality content was in other languages like English, like German, like French and stuff. Because those people in Europe and America have more chances of being successful and they make more quality content. So I wanted to watch some other content. Turkish content was not enough for me. They don't put in much effort as much as other people in England, Germany, France, Italy. Those people are putting more effort in their content. That's why I decided to learn the language. And there's other reasons too, my mom and my father talking to each other. My father is Egyptian and my mother is Turkish, so when they first met, they both knew English not very well. My mother was better than my father at English all the time, but that's how they communicated. And when they didn't want me to hear something, they would start talking English, not in Turkish. My mother doesn't know any Arabic, so my father learned Turkish when he came to this country. But it was not enough in the first couple of years. So they decided to communicate in English. Anyways, that's why I decided to learn English. That was the first spark in me that was pushing me to learn this language. I was so furious to understand what they were saying. I was hearing my name every time they talked English, so I knew that they were talking something about me. And when someone's talking something about me, looking into my eyes and talking in another language that I don't know how to speak or read or understand, and laughing and saying stuff behind my back. And that was when I was a kid. So that pushed me harder. I was gonna talk about something else when I was first was going to do the episode in Turkish, but I don't know what to talk about right now. What should I talk about? We can talk about learning the language, the English, in Turkey and in other countries. School is not the place where you learn English or any other language that is not native to you, that you're not native in, should I say. Because school is not throwing you in a place where you must learn the language in the place you're living in. For an example, if I wanted to learn German, I wouldn't do it in Turkey. I wouldn't take classes of German. Yeah, classes. I wouldn't take classes of German. So because I wouldn't take classes in German, I'm fucking it up so hard, man. I'm trying to get my mind together right now. Let's say I throw you in a country where you don't know the language of that country. You're a Turkish guy. You don't know fucking like any English words rather than yes, no, fuck, and pussy, right? I would fucking throw you in America or in any other country. You would have to fucking learn that language, right? Like, let's say you're in America. You have to learn English or at least like Spanish or something so you can survive in there. Turkish wouldn't be enough because there isn't much people in America that are Turkish. You get what I'm saying? So when you go into classes, you are not, like you're supposed to talk English, but you're not forced to talk English. If you're gonna die from hunger, you can say like I'm hungry in Turkish, but if you don't know how to say I'm hungry or I want to go to home or like help me, they're raping me, you cannot say that in Turkish. You have to say that in English in America. Let's say you have a bullet wound in your ass. You would have to show your ass so that they understand that you have a bullet wound. But you couldn't like explain to anybody in phone that you have a bullet wound. Let's say somebody shot you in your ass and left you nearby a roadway, right? You have only a phone. There is no one passing. It's 3 a.m. in the fucking night, in the morning, right? You would have to call like 911 or I don't know what's the ambulance number in America or in other countries. You would have to call somebody and tell them that somebody shot you in your ass and you need to get to the fucking hospital, right? You would have to know English. But in Turkey when you learn English and you have to talk to somebody in English, you don't have to talk in English. That's my point. You have to be in the country where they talk the language that you want to learn. If you want to learn Turkish, you have to come to fucking Turkey. Otherwise, you wouldn't learn the stuff. You wouldn't learn like 10% of the stuff that in 1 year that you would learn when you come to Turkey in 1 month. Like that doesn't mean that you don't like you can't learn a language in your own country where they don't talk the language that you want to learn. If you're in America and you want to learn Spanish, that's perfectly fine. You can learn Spanish because there's a lot of Hispanic people in America. But let's say you want to learn Spanish in Turkey. You're fucked up. There is no one that talks Spanish in Turkey. You want to learn Arabic in Turkey? Okay, fine. There's lots of fucking people that are talking in Arabic in Turkey. Like, it would be good to know Arabic in Turkey. You can do all of that in America. You don't have to go to another country. But let's say you want to learn Chinese. It's hard in America. But yeah, there's like enough people to talk to that are Chinese in America. But, they don't like you. If there is any American people that are watching this podcast, like, I reckon there is like any people that are listening right now. But I'm just mumbling. That's all. I wanted to talk for a little bit because I have like a thing every day or once in a couple days. I have to like blast out something English to get it out of my mind. You wouldn't know that for sure. For a little bit, for like 20 minutes, for like half an hour, to get it out of me. I have to like scream in English. Anyways, that's all. I don't know if I'm gonna upload this episode. Let's see. I'm probably going to record another episode right now in Turkish. Okay. Anyways, bye. Have a nice day.